Good afternoon, my Real News Midday TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update. And in the news this afternoon, Stand Up for Jamaica calls for rehabilitation to take priority in new prison talks. Human rights organization Stand Up for Jamaica is calling for the government for rehabilitation to take a top priority in the construction of new prison. In a media release, Executive Director of Stand Up for Jamaica, Carla Golota, says while the country does need a new prison, greater emphasis must be placed on rehabilitation to ensure that all the necessary systems and resources are in place to facilitate the reform of all prisons. Otherwise, it is a missing goal, she says. Golota is raising concern about the condition of the two main prisons, Torres Street Adult Correctional Center and the St. Catherine Adult Correctional Center, which have also exceeded maximum capacity. Rehabilitation is the key solution to sending back better people to society, but the degrading infrastructure at the prison facilities and the lack of space is not conducive towards that effort, Golota says. 2 on a sponge, 2 on a hammock, they are locked in between 3 p.m. to 9:30 in the morning. There is no access to bathrooms, latrines, anything, so the inmates have to have their own little bucket in the cell where they urinate and they defecate in front of everybody. It is really a health hazard and a humiliation, she says. She is urging the government and the public not to place this issue on the back burner and calling for the government to rethink its policy on not hiring inmates with a criminal record. St. James, a man on gun and ammunition charges, granted $800,000 bail. A St. James man who was allegedly found with a firearm and several rounds of ammunition at his house was granted bail in the sum of $800,000 when he appeared in the St. James Parish Court on Wednesday. Akeem Horton, 25, of Orange District, St. James, is charged with the possession of a prohibited weapon, unauthorized possession of ammunition, and dealing in prohibited weapons. According to the prosecution, on August 8, a search warrant was executed at a house in Orange District. The house reportedly had several occupants, and Horton was asked which section he occupied. He pointed to a room that was searched in his presence, where a single 9mm round was reportedly found at the base of a couch next to his bed. When the discovery was made, he allegedly said, "Officer, a long time the couch there. You know, say it want to throw it." The round was secured as an exhibit and the search continued. A black speaker box with missing screws and a screwdriver on top was also discovered in the room. When the investigating officer shook it, he heard something rattle inside. After removing 2 screws from the back of the speaker box, the officer discovered a black Glock 17 pistol with a magazine and 17 rounds of ammunition inside. When the discovery was made, Horton was asked if he was the holder of a licensed firearm, and he said no. He also reportedly told the police, "Me no know how this reached so." A black and white handkerchief was also discovered with a bulge in it, which when examined revealed 7 9mm rounds of ammunition. When cautioned, Horton reportedly said, "Just give me a chance, my boss. Me nah kill nobody. A bare things are going round here." During Horton's bail application on Wednesday, his lawyer Adrian Days told the court that his client has no prior criminal record or charges against him. Days also pointed to the statement from the prosecution that there were other individuals living at the property. "We agree with the Crown that the premises was occupied by 5 adults. There are other persons who come and go," Days said. He further argued that a deceased uncle of his client is the owner of the speaker box and the couch in question, and that since his death, both the defendant and several others used the room in question. The attorney also pointed out that his client began living there a year after his uncle died. He emphasized that Horton does not have exclusive ownership or control of the room and that the speaker box was used in a shop for an extended period of time. According to the attorney, someone unrelated to Horton has claimed a partial ownership of the speaker box. In terms of the firearm and ammunition, Days stated that his client was unaware of the presence of the firearm in the speaker box or the ammunition allegedly discovered in the couch. The lawyer then shifted his focus to the moment when the screwdriver was found on top of the speaker box. We find it interesting that the screwdriver was found on top of the speaker box, that the same speaker box would have 17 rounds of ammunition, and that somehow this one round is kept outside the speaker box in the coach, added Days. He also made a mention of the 2 missing screws that were not found. Based on these factors, Days asked that his client be granted bail. After hearing the lawyer's arguments, the clerk of the court indicated that the prosecution had no objections to granting bail. However, she requested that certain conditions be imposed to ensure Houghton's attendance to court and to prevent him from traveling abroad. She also disclosed that the ballistic certificate, the chain of custody statement, and the corroborating officer's statement were still outstanding. Presiding Judge Gary Reed subsequently granted Houghton bail with up to 2 sureties. As a condition of his bail, he was instructed to report at a specific police station on specific days. He was also asked to surrender his travel documents and told that a stop order would be placed on him at all ports. The matter was subsequently transferred to the Regional Gun Court for mention on September 16. Early intervention key to helping students with maths, says Crawford. The parliamentary opposition says the dismal passes in CSEC mathematics highlights the need for swift intervention to assist the students struggling with the subject. The Ministry of Education revealed that of the Jamaican students who sat the CSEC mathematics this year, only 38.9% received a pass. Opposition spokesman on education, Senator Damon Crawford, says most of those who passed the exam received a grade 3.
We had about 400 children with ungraded, not sufficient to apply a grade because of what was happening. But what I'm saying is that we wait for intervention either at the end of the year or the end of your school life. Because mathematics is an accumulative subject, intervention should be weekend intervention, because it don't make no sense you move to the next topic if you don't understand the previous topic. So when you wait till the end of the term to do a test instead of testing on the curriculum space, fraction, where are you with fractions? Okay, you understand, we're moving on to algebra. But if you don't understand, you should be coming to evening classes at school, you should be coming to weekend classes at school, or you should be held in a special group that don't move on until you have understood this particular thing.
Tufton insists that government focused on modernizing health sector. Despite the growing criticisms of the country's health services, Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton is insisting that the government is focused on modernizing and upgrading the public health care service. Speaking Friday at the Dr. Barry Wint Memorial Scholarship Presentation Ceremony, Dr. Tufton argued that the government has spent billions of dollars to upgrade the public hospitals and health centers as part of its plan to improve patient care. Dr. Tufton also outlined a number of upgrading programs that are in the pipeline.
We are digitizing patient records. Never before happened. First in the Caribbean. Maypen is fully digitized. Spanish Town is coming online in another few weeks. Actually, it's online. We're officially opening that, launching that in another few weeks. Number of other health centers are coming online. It means one patient, one record. Whether you're in a health center or a hospital, that record is transmitted electronically. Doctors bring it up on the computer. They know exactly what the problem is, what your history is, treat you in a much more efficient way. Never before happened. Part of the upgrading. We have gone into, for the first time, the leasing of diagnostic equipment. Why? Because in the past, when we bought these things, we couldn't service them. And the first little problem, they end up in a corner. And so what we are doing now is leasing, and in another month or so, we will announce the successful bidder out of a public tender process, who will now provide the CT scans and the MRI machines in the hospital and be responsible to service them. And when they would have completed their useful life, will replace them. That will give greater efficiency of service.
Guys, thank you for watching. See you this evening at 6 p.m. for another news update.